So GMR Airports, Ajay, is what we're talking about. Nimesh is with us on the phone line right now. There was a big block deal which happened. Nimesh is picking up some interesting details about who the buyer is essentially. Nimesh, morning. Take it away.
Hi, Prashant. Good morning. So, as you rightly pointed out, there's a large block. 12.5% equity got changed hands in GMR Airports today. So that's the news. The deal was worth nearly 4,000 crores. So that's a big amount that we're talking about here. Now, in terms of the details, in terms of sellers, what I understand, the non-promoter entities were seller in today's block. There was a lot of speculation that such a large block was sold by the promoters, but that's not the case. Promoters haven't sold a single share. It's basically, if you look at the shareholding pattern in the public shareholders, there are a lot of funds which were combined owning close to 12-13% stake. So they were the sellers in today's block deal. Now, the most important thing is who are the buyers. I understand from sources, GQG was one of the largest buyer in today's block. GQG is not the only buyer, but I understand GQG was the largest buyer. There are a couple of other long-only funds as well which participated and bought in today's block deal. So big deal, nearly 4,500 crores worth of shares got changed hands. As I said earlier, non-promoter entities sold in today's block, and GQG with some large funds bought into GMR Airports in today's trade. And remember, Prashant, I was just talking to a couple of analysts as well. Right now, to play the airports business in India, this is the only listed play, right? Adani Airport is still part of Adani Enterprise, so it's not listed yet. So the only listed play for airports is GMR Airports, and looks like GQG is got very bullish, and hence they bought a large chunk in GMR Airports today.
Nimesh, that's the other link, right? GQG is also a big investor in Adani Group stocks. I mean, it's not a link. I mean, it's just a fact, FYI. And of course, they're also into airports. And GQG seems to be sort of doubling down on that bet in the infrastructure space in a very large way. And of course, in the Adani Group, they've done incredibly well when they bought it compared to where they bought it and what stocks have done since then. Nimesh, stay with us.
Prashant,
Go on.
To that point of what you were saying, Prashant, exactly my point, right? GQG now looks like it's playing the India's infrastructure story. It's not only through Adani Group, but they're now looking at infrastructure stocks across India as well, right? And of course, apart from Adani Group stocks, GQG has been a buyer in a couple of non-infra names as well. They bought into Patanjali recently. They bought into another company as well.
Yeah.
So again, it looks like GQG is betting big on the infrastructure story in India. And as I said earlier, GMR Airports right now is the only listed airport play for investors, and hence looks like GQG is bought big into GMR Airports today.
Yeah. And of course, if the underlying theme that one is betting on is more people flying, right? That's essentially the airport's theme. Then you have to either buy airlines. So that's the thesis behind why many large investors are very bullish on Indigo. Or, of course, there is the other way to play it, which is airports, which are like sort of, a toll every time you fly. Airports collect a fee. Nimesh, stay with us. Ajay is also with us. Ajay.
Q3 is basically a strong quarter because of holiday seasons, and it should have the same trend like quarter 2. But in aviation, basically, there are quarter on quarter. Quarter 1 and quarter 3 is always higher growth compared to quarter 2 and quarter 4. For the various reasons. It is a trend which always continued. So quarter 3, now we expect a better traffic growth compared to even quarter 2. Aeronaut growth, because if in case of the Delhi, the base is very high. So we are likely to touch about 70 million traffic this year as against the last year what we closed. In case of the Hyderabad, we are likely to close around 24 to 24.5 million traffic. It ranges about 17 to 18% growth. GMR Airports Limited is about 3,900 crores, which including the all interest accrued everything. That is what we are refinancing now. Trench 1 we completed. There will be Trench 2 and Trench 3 also. We are likely to raise the Trench 2 and Trench 3 maybe in December and January. That will take our debt level maybe around 4,700 crore rupees, which includes our acquisition financing also. Okay. As far as interest rates are concerned, now the current rate of interest which we have offered is 13.275, which is much lower than the earlier rate of interest. Q3 is basically a strong quarter because of holiday seasons, and it should have the same trend like quarter 2. But in aviation, basically, there are quarter on quarter. Quarter 1 and quarter 3 is always higher growth compared to quarter 2 and quarter 4. For the various reasons. It is a trend which always continued. So quarter 3, now we expect a better traffic growth compared to even quarter 2.
And if you have to put a number to it, year on year, what is your understanding, estimates, and on a quarter on sequential basis as well?
Year-on-year growth, because if in case of the Delhi, the base is very high.
Correct.
So we are likely to touch about 70 million traffic this year, as against the last year what we closed. In case of the Hyderabad, we are likely to close around 24 to 24.5 million traffic. It ranges about 17 to 18% growth.
Amazing. As far as the important fundraising is concerned, you raised about 2,000 crore recently, which was used towards refinancing. As far as that refinancing is concerned, where does that leave the debt at the company? Also, a corresponding question, your finance cost would have also come down with that refinancing. Where does that finance cost stand at the moment for the company?
Our debt at GMR Airports Limited is about 3,900 crores, which including the all interest accrued everything. That is what we are refinancing now. Trench 1 we have completed. There will be trench 2 and trench 3 also. We are likely to raise the trench 2 and trench 3 maybe in December and January. That will take our debt level maybe around 4,700 crore rupees.
Okay, well, that is GMR and the sort of the CFO speaking with my colleague Yash Jain. Ajay is still with us.